All right, so I just finished having too much coffee for today, and before I get sick, let's talk about the Becker Classic. This is the BE2010. You can recognize it by being the only one that doesn't have a rotary encoder. And this is surprisingly a more modern design than the previous Becker radios we talked about. And it's using a more sophisticated mixer chip, which I think, although I don't remember off the top of my head, has a bit more functionality than what just the simple mixers and faders have, right? So this actually has the FM and AM demodulators and stuff. And on top of that does the faders and volume and bass and treble, right? Unfortunately, this radio only supports, well, at least with my method, only a mono Bluetooth sound, right? So if we want to use the AM source, that unfortunately is mono, and it is just this single cable here. I'll, as per the usual, show you guys the little diagrams I have. But yeah, just to keep in mind, this will require either doing a resistive mixer to mix both the left and right channels. You could do it the lazy way and just connect the left channel and just be done with it, but a few songs will get into trouble. And also something noteworthy is the ground sounds best if it's connected to the audio ground of this chip, which actually also sits at about 2 or 3 volts above ground, right? So this basically elevates the entire Bluetooth ground at 3 volts. And that's fine because these boards do have an isolating DC-DC converter, so it doesn't really matter, right? And as you can see in the case of this radio, the button connections are not connected. This is rather unfortunate. This client will not, unfortunately, again, be getting button control. I don't remember exactly what buttons I was planning on using, but I think it's these for skip and previous, right? Skip and previous, and this for play pause, because you can do away with them, right? Unfortunately, there's 2 revisions of this front plate, of this front assembly, and this is a bit different. And my mom broke her foot just a few days ago, and I really haven't had the perfect environment for R&D or motivation. So I've cut a bunch of traces as I usually do, and I did reconnect all of them back, right? So you can see I've butchered a few traces here and there. So this one here, right? I've reconnected all of them, and this will just not have button control. But keep in mind, right, the schematic, the diagram I'll be showing is for, well, not this, right? I think the numbers are ever so slightly different on these, but you guys will figure it out if you're this far into the video. And what else can I talk about? I just left them here in case someone in the future wants to reverse engineer the matrix connecting all the buttons. They can have at it. Yeah, not much else. Same as usual, right? I'll just say it in case you haven't seen the other videos. I'm using AM just for the input in the mixer, and because it supplies 7 volts to an AM chip over on this side. Again, I'll show it in the following segment. So once you hit AM, it'll energize this line, which goes to a linear regulator, gives me 5. The 5 goes into this isolating DC-DC converter, and then we have whatever the Bluetooth chip wants. I think it's either 5 or 3.3. I think it works on both, to be honest. I've had boards with both voltages, but that's completely irrelevant. And yeah, you would have buttons for skip, previous, and play pause, which are not populated. And I am using the the CSRA 64215. It's a bit more of an older model. And for this, the config tool, link up top, has an option for mono output, right? So digitally mixes the channels, right? So you can have a very clean dual stereo on the, I don't know what the words are, right? But you get the point. And so that's a bit more elegant with no resistors and none of that bullshit. So let me quickly bring up the iPad and we'll take a look at the diagrams and then we'll be done. All right, so here we go. This would be our sound path. So first of all, the voltage that will be powering our board will come from here. You can see there's this little SMD capacitor that will have 8V5 when AM is present. Ground, I just connected somewhere here. The whole chassis has ground anyway. And what I like to do is cut a bit of this metal. It's rather soft. These snips don't really cut it. I have a bigger pair. And then very important, I use sanitary silicone just to keep everything in place because this produces extremely sharp edges. These cars constantly vibrate and you really don't want your insulation to be perforated and connected to ground. So this is very snugly held in and elastically, and this will withstand up to 150 degrees, whatever. Do not use hot melt glue. Hot melt glue on a summer day will melt entirely within the first half hour of driving, right? This shit runs at literally 100 C, everything inside of it, right? This area is obviously cooler, but please assume that everything sits at 100. And do not use hot snot. I've seen some people that were modding radios in Germany and Ukraine using hot snot and just gluing everything in place, and then everything would just settle down onto metal parts like the cassette mech and stuff like that. It was just disgusting. Anyway, if you want to route a wire for the aux and mic, I've seen that, yeah, this spot is good because it has no traces. What else? Apparently Pastari is set to bridge this, right? So give it a slight boost. I haven't done it on this one and I don't think I will. I don't know. But again, these boards, right, the different revisions use this jumper differently. So try it out first, right? Try it out, but do note that that's an option you can have. And as far as connecting the audio path, audio ground, right, is on this side. System ground is on this side. So this is actual 0. And this side is audio ground, which again is at 2V2. To disconnect the classic AM path, you just have to snip off or melt off these two SMD. I think it's a resistor and a capacitor, I'm not sure. And then you could just connect over on this side and inject your audio. What else can be said? Oh, this is a nice diagram of this chip, all the pins and stuff. But yeah. What else can be said? As far as the label goes, I've shown it in the previous video on the 2210, I think. I'll link it at the top. If you want me to do this on one of your radios, yeah, I suppose so. Write me. I might still do these for a while. It's okay money. But, no, that's been it. Have a good one.